What is going on, guys? Jason Burke here, Styles Clash for Life, coming at you on YouTube, and today I've got some football focus. I know it's Tuesday, I know the Steeler game was Sunday, I'm sorry, I made a film this weekend, I was in a competition, so I didn't even get to watch the game until this morning, Tuesday morning. I am exhausted, so I apologize if my thoughts are scattered and my brain's still a little cloudy from a crazy weekend of being up 72 hours straight. Okay, so Pittsburgh Steelers played the New York Jets on Sunday, which I just watched. A Pittsburgh Steelers 24-20 loss to the Jets, but in some ways it's the start of a brand new era. So in the first half, Mitch didn't play poorly. Trubisky didn't play bad football. He was improving. He was looking downfield a little more. He was taking a few shots beyond the sticks for the first time in a long time. He was going to the middle of the field and checking down to Pat Freiermuth, who made some really nice plays, and was looking overall decent. But that being said, we found ourselves getting behind the eight ball a lot with pre-snap penalties, holding penalties, sacks. There was a lot of pressure on Trubisky, and while he did improve, he did still leave us with just 6 points in the first half against the Jets, and going into the end of the first half down 10-6. The Pittsburgh Steelers defense also improved in this game. TJ Watt didn't play, so once again, that kind of denotes right there that Pittsburgh all-time without TJ Watt since he's been drafted are 0-7. Pittsburgh has never won since TJ Watt has come to this team when he's not played in the game. 0-7. That is a big stat, which tells you exactly what a game wrecker and a game changer TJ Watt is. That being said, Pittsburgh's front seven got really good pressure in this game. The Jets O-line is not one of the better O-lines, and the Pittsburgh defense did step up, especially in the first half. The Jets did get one touchdown on the Philly special play. That was after the offense was like a 3-and-out or something, and defense was a little tired. But the Philly special play, the pass to quarterback Zach Wilson for the touchdown, we weren't ready for that at all. Good play call by the Jets. Gave the one touchdown they had. Again, we got 2 field goals in the first half from Boswell, one from 51, one from 59 to end the half. So Boswell knocking down 2 50-plus yarders, including a 59-yarder. Big props to him. Pittsburgh goes down after an okay but pedestrian first half, down 10-6. We come out in the second half with Kenny Pickett, and that makes a lot of difference. The crowd goes crazy. The new era has begun. Pickett is now listed as first on our depth chart, so let's see what he can do as the starter going forward. You can't go back now. Unless Kenny Pickett is injured, he's the starter forever now, going forward until the end of the season. Trubisky is no longer going to be involved unless there's an injury. So Pickett played decently well, still got a long ways to go. We'll get into the stats here real quick. Mitch Trubisky in the first half, 7 of 13, 84 yards, no touchdowns, 1 pick. Did have 1 interception in this game off of I think it was a tip ball from Deontay Johnson who should have caught it. It was a good throw. Deontay wasn't looking back for the ball, some kind of miscommunication, but it was a good throw that hit Deontay right in the hands. It wasn't too high. It was right in his zone. Deontay tips it. It gets picked off. So the 1 pick is not Trubisky's fault. Deontay's got a lot of issues to work on himself. Another play was a really good Trubisky pass to the back of the end zone that Deontay did catch and landed his first foot with the toe just on the white line and drug his second foot over the top of like 3 defenders. What a great throw Trubisky made, and a beautiful hands catch by Deontay Johnson, but that toe was apparently right on the line. It was very close, and I thought it was a touchdown, but the ref said no. So 1 touchdown was taken away from a nice catch by Deontay, and then 1 pick was given away by a bad non-catch by Deontay. Kenny Pickett comes in the second half, 10 of 13, 120 yards, no passing touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 2 rushing touchdowns. We'll talk about that. Najee Harris, best game of the season so far, 18 carries, 74 yards. Had a little spring in his step today. George Pickens, first 100-yard receiving game of his career. 6 catches, 102 yards. Getting this guy the ball finally. It took us 4 games too late to do that. George Pickens, 6 for 102. Freiermuth, really nice game. 7 catches for 85 yards. Offensive line, I have 3 big minuses for the offensive line, and it could be 4. Kevin Dotson, Dan Moore, Chuks Okorafor, absolute garbage. If you're going to start making changes, you're going to bring Pickett in to be your starting quarterback. Last week they made a depth chart change where they put Tyson Alualu on the bench and started Montravis Adams, which I thought was a good move. If you're going to start making changes and you want to turn your season around, let's start with the offensive line. You've got a new quarterback in there now. Take at least 2, if not 3 or 4, of these offensive linemen and sit them on their ass on the bench because they stink. They stink on ice. Dan Moore again got our quarterback sacked twice in this game, got blown up. He also had a holding penalty as well. Chuks Okorafor had either a holding or a downfield penalty. Dotson had 2 penalties, 1 holding and 1 downfield. These guys are getting off the blocks late. They're going downfield when they shouldn't be. They're holding constantly and stalling drives, and they're getting our guys killed. These guys stink. James Daniels also had another penalty today, and he was one of our highest free agents. He was one of the top linemen out there this year we picked up. I was so excited to get him. He's been looking bad too. He's looking slow. Again, Chooks, Moore, and Dotson, absolute trash. You want to start making changes? Make them now. Put these guys on the bench. Bench all 3 of them. I understand they're considered better than some of the guys we already have out there, but you got other guys on your team, and you can't do much worse than this, honestly. You're at the bottom of the league as far as your offensive line. You're the worst in the NFL. Down there with some of the other worst teams, like the previous Jaguars, Jets, Bengals, teams like that. This offensive line absolutely stinks and needs wholesale changes right now. I don't know who you can sign or trade for, but you got to get some fresh blood in there, even if it means J.C. Hassenauer and Joe Haig and guys like that. You got to try something different here, because this line is the worst I've ever seen. Again, offensively, Pickett does have no touchdown passes and 3 interceptions. Only one of those really is on him. The one pass downfield he threw up, it was his first pass attempt. He threw up downfield to Claypool. The ball was underthrown. Claypool was coming on a deep crosser, was going across the top of the field. He did kind of stop his route. The ball was underthrown, but Chase Claypool had a 5-inch reach advantage on the safety that was covering him and was in front of the safety. He bobbled the ball, and the corner safety, whoever it was, picked it off. So although it was underthrown, it wasn't the best throw by Pickett. It was a good deep shot where the taller receiver was in front of the smaller defender. So Claypool should have caught that. I put that one on Chase Claypool. The second one was Kenny Pickett's fault. That was a throw. Pickett was getting rushed and was way back in the pocket. He was 10 yards back in the pocket on a deep drop. Guys were pushing the pile back toward him. He tried to throw one up on the sideline to Freiermuth, who jumped up as high as he could, but the ball was still way too high, which caused a tip, which was intercepted. That is definitely on Kenny Pickett. He got a little happy there, got a little nervous, and threw the ball too high based on the pressure. So that's on Pickett. And the third one was a Hail Mary to try and win the game. Pittsburgh was down 4 with 8 seconds left. He throws it up, nice strong throw all the way to the back of the end zone that was picked off by Joyner. So that's just a Hail Mary. You're trying to win the game. That's a throw for grabs. So I'm not going to count that one on Pickett either. So he gets 3 picks, but only one's really his fault. Also did get 2 rushing touchdowns. One was a 3rd and goal, which the pile pushed him and he stayed on his feet and kept his legs churning. That was a nice Big Ben style quarterback sneak. The other one was a nice bootleg play on a fake to Najee. He gets to the outside, makes another guy miss a tackle, and gets in the end zone. So he's running the ball really hard. He's showing a lot of strength. We know that Kenny's got good legs and good agility. We didn't really know how much strength he had, but he showed it on those 2 rushing touchdowns. So that's positive stuff. Again, Najee ran pretty solid today. George Pickens made some really nice plays on offense. One was a 30-yard ball down the sidelines. Another was a 27-yard deep in route where he sat down at the middle of the zone and got fouled by Pickett for a very nice throw. That was good. Again, really good day from Freiermuth. Hooked up with Trubisky on a few middle throw plays. A couple really nice balls from Kenny Pickett to Freiermuth as well. So that was really good. Again, Claypool has to get more involved. He has to make those catches that cost us a turnover. He's got to make the plays downfield. He's not done much for us this season, and he's been very quiet. He has to make those plays. And Deontay Johnson only had 2 catches for 12 yards in this game, and one of his drops caused a pick as well. So he's got to be more consistent. He goes and makes these crazy sideline toe taps and these great back of the end zone touchdown catches, and then he's dropping 7-yard outs that are causing turnovers. So he's been terribly inconsistent for the last 2 games, for as well as he started the first 2. So got to call those guys out and do better. Jaylen Warren also has to watch fumbles and stuff like that as well. Played pretty good today. Had one big negative play, but really had a nice 12 or 13-yard run in this game too. Over to the defense, there is a fundamental problem on this defense as well. They hold the Jets to 1 touchdown in the first half, just 10 points. They get good pressure all day long on Zach Wilson. Cam's in there. Highsmith is all over the place. You're creating some turnovers. You get a sack. You get 2 picks. You got some good stuff going on defense. And then in the fourth quarter, there's 8.5 minutes left. We're ahead 20-10. Pickett has come in and led 2 touchdown drives with 2 rushing touchdowns. We're ahead by 10 points with less than 9 minutes to go in the game, and your team allows 14 points, 2 touchdowns to the Jets. You squander a 10-point lead in the fourth quarter with a rookie quarterback to the Jets. In Zach Wilson's first game back from injury, it's not okay. It's not okay. This defense does not seem to have the heart that it had in years previous. This is not the steel curtain. It's not the same. I understand your best player is injured, but you got to make plays. You have to stop a team like the Jets, who are one of the weaker teams in the NFL, especially when you got a rookie in there, especially when our next 4 games are bangers. So no matter how hard we tried, how much better we looked on both sides of the ball in this game, we still lost a game and a come-from-behind fourth quarter to the Jets when we have the toughest schedule in the league over the next 5 to 6 weeks coming up. Not good. Not good stuff. Defensively, a couple guys I want to give credit to. 2 interceptions. Minkah Fitzpatrick jumps in front of a ball, runs it back for what seemed to be a pick 6. Then it was called that he stepped out at the 4-yard line, which he did. Good call. But Minkah gets a nice pick for a nice return. He's doing this every single week. With TJ Watt out, he is by far and away our best player. Minkah and Cameron are all-stars with TJ Watt not out there. Cameron Sutton with another nice pick. He comes across the field in man coverage, slides back to the second receiver, and gets a nice jump-ahead pick for a good return. He's played pretty well this season for the most part. 1 sack today from Highsmith. That 1 sack does not delineate how good the pressure was today. Lots of pressure overall. In this game, the front 7 played really well. Highsmith got the only sack. Also got several tackles in this game. Devin Bush, I thought, played well. Nothing flashy, but had some nice coverage downfield a little bit. Even 1 or 2 plays that Corey Davis caught, Bush was in a good spot. The ball was just well thrown and better caught. So I want to give Bush credit for some decent coverage. Also 6 tackles, played the run pretty well, and got a couple of hits on Zach Wilson. So played the run game, got pressure in the pass game, and didn't play badly in coverage, even though it was zone plays. So Bush played pretty well. Miles Jack, 5 tackles. He was all over the field like he usually was. 3 assisted tackles as well. I like Miles Jack on this defense. A couple guys I want to give some positives to. Larry Ogunjobi got a few nice tackles in the run game, also pressured the quarterback, got a couple nice hits. Ogunjobi did well today. DeMarvin Leal, the more I see, the more I like. He's playing more and more. He's getting some nice pressures. There was one play where he had Michael Carter in the backfield, and Carter got around him for a 5-yard gain, but he got nice pressure. He got in the backfield a lot today. DeMarvin Leal was on the way up. He's going to wind up being a starter by the end of the season. Excuse me. Arthur Maulet, he did allow 1 or 2 passes down the field to Elijah Moore or Corey Davis. Did get beat a couple times late, but overall I thought Maulet was really nice. He had 1 nice running game play where he got off the edge and tackled the running back for a loss. He was in coverage at least 3 times with pass deflections in this game. Maulet has proven to be the best slot guy. Since we're playing Cam Sutton a lot more on the outside and playing Witherspoon less, which I really don't understand, it looks like Maulet has gone over Sutton and especially over Norwood. Norwood made a couple tackles in this game too, but Maulet looked really nice overall. He needs to shore up that pass coverage on the one-on-one stuff, but when he has help and when he can get off the edge and blitz a little bit, he's very effective. So I like him. Special teams, Boswell, again, couldn't do any better. 2 for 2, hits a 51-yarder and a 59-yarder for 6 of our 20 points in this game. Very nice. Negative, Gunnar Olszewski. What's going on with Gunnar Olszewski? He fumbled the ball last week and looked very nervous. This week you could tell he didn't really want to take any out. He hesitated once or twice in taking a few kicks out. He had one where he had a lot of space. He had 10 or 15 yards of space on one that he backed up and let bounce all the way down to the 10-yard line, so he cost us 20 or 30 yards on that play. And then another one where he caught the ball and tried to make a move and fumbled again for the 2nd week in a row. It was recovered by the Steelers, so it wasn't a lost fumble, but he did fumble again for the 2nd time in a row. It's getting time to move away from Gunnar Olszewski, especially considering Calvin Austin should be coming back here in the next 2 to 3 weeks. So if we get Calvin Austin back and Gunnar doesn't play really well going forward, I think it's time to make a switch there. Even if you want to go with a Miles Boykin or a Jalen Warren on the return until Austin gets back, I don't feel very comfortable right now with Gunnar Olszewski with back-to-back fumbles and bad decisions in this game. So overall, that's the issue. Offensive line stinks. Quarterback play has been inconsistent, but now we have a new era starting. Some wide receivers have to do better plays downfield, like Deontay and Claypool especially. And defensively, we have to hold up in the 4th quarter. I know we're injured. I know we're tired. I know there's no Watt. But you cannot allow the Jets 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns to come back and beat your team. It's not okay. So more heart on the defense, more protection on the offense, more big plays, splash plays on both sides. So that is my takeaway. We're now 1-3. I've got to say, there's no concern inside this division whatsoever. We are fine at 1-3 in this division. Baltimore lost again today. Cleveland lost again today, so they're both down to 2-2, and we've already beaten Cincinnati in a divisional game. So we are only one game back from these teams, already got a divisional win, and all the head-to-heads for Baltimore and one of them for Cleveland is still coming up. So with that many divisional games left to play and the teams' records being similar like that, there's no concern there at 1-3. The concern at 1-3 is that we're losing to the weaker teams, and now we've got the bigger teams to play ahead of us. So those big teams could squash us. We could easily go from 1-3 to 1-7 real damn quick. So I think it's time to make a few changes. Get TJ Watt healthy, get Calvin Austin out there on offense, and get some offensive line changes, and we could be okay. Welcome to Pittsburgh, Kenny Pickett. It is your time. There's no going back now. Let's see what we can do. What are your thoughts? Who impressed you and who didn't? Go Steelers. Tell me in the comments. Please like, share, and subscribe if you like these videos. I'm sorry it's so late. For the next couple of weeks, I will be on time. Take care, guys. See you soon.